You wasted it on dartboards and knock-knock jokes, you Philistines. You guys are cowards. Open your minds, you cowards. I'm gonna bring up your next comedian. You guys ready? Yeah. I said it. All right. His name is Karl Berg. Give him a big round of applause.
The lights. I've never looked whiter in my life. Look at this. Jesus. Actually, yeah, I'm just going to place this down here. Just my notes. I'm not actually going to use them, but I'm actually going to read them out to you later on. These lights really are bright. What the hell's going on here? Okay, it says 210. What's that supposed to
Don't
be?
break the fourth wall, mate. Pretend the lights aren't there and the
There's
audience.
7 people here, mate. All we have is walls. Okay. Right. Thank you for having me here. Lovely to be here in Shanghai, which is a big deal for me because you guys, you don't appreciate what you have, do you? You live in Shanghai, so it's, amazing, yeah, whatever, but I live in a fucking small town in China, Jinhua, and if you haven't heard of it, it doesn't fucking matter, does it? Because it's not in Shanghai. Shanghai's the big thing. I mean, I'm here with my mate who used to live in Shanghai. All I fucking hear about is Shanghai this, Shanghai that. But like for me, my first place of contact in China was Beijing, and to be honest, that's a half-decent big city. People say Shanghai's got culture, finances. Beijing's got culture and finances. It's the political capital of the city. You think money isn't changing hands there? Of course it is. And everything's like thrice as cheap in Beijing. So morally, we win in Beijing. It's a fucking fact. It just is. But no, I genuinely do like Shanghai, honestly. Like my mate keeps saying, it does sort of make you feel a bit more cultured. As soon as we stepped off the train, it was like, oh, we've left the village, we've entered a city. And it's true. And apparently we've got, I can't even see how many people we've got in the audience, but I believe there's like 5 people here that just came with my mate. I realise that's a bit obnoxious, that no one knows me here, so why the fuck did I turn up with 5 people? The reason is my mate's very talkative, and there was a bit of confusion. Original plan was just me coming down here and trying to, get you guys to like me. Or don't, it's fine. I mean, look at me. You said people think you're a terrorist. Hello? Try going through this at airport security at Heathrow, mate. Fuck me, serious. Like, I'm considering colouring my beard as if that'll add an edge to it. Like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. You're worried, but at least you get a laugh out of it. But no, my mate basically, he's very talkative, and he'll be the first person to admit it. And he keeps telling me all week that I haven't masturbated because I'm trying to build up testosterone. Apparently that's supposed to help him recruit more students. So I don't fucking, I honestly don't fucking understand this. And do you know what? Testosterone, students and wanking all in the same sentence.
In my defence, right, it's to do with the pheromones, and I smell fertile, and most parents are women that accompany their children to the demo classes. So they're like, oh, him, I want that teacher.
That's the mate, is it?
Yeah. And that's the bullshit I live with. That's the bullshit I live with. But anyway, so this is what's been happening all week. Every now and again we have a smoke break. It's the same fucking story all over again. Just him and his penis, as if my penis doesn't fucking matter. Which means, he's got something in common with all the women in the world. My penis doesn't matter, his does. Okay, that's fine. But my original plan, when I just mentioned to him, I'm really excited to come down to Shanghai and get back into comedy, he said, oh mate, I want to come, and I couldn't really say no to him. After, I just couldn't. You hear a week of him not wanking, and then he says, I want to come. I was halfway down sort of on my knees, because I misread what he was saying. I'm glad he said, oh, I want to come to check out the comedy. That's when I just sort of worked my way back up, but it was too late. He was like, did you lose something? Yeah, a lighter. No, I didn't see you pick one up. Yeah, I kind of remembered I hadn't actually dropped it. That happens. Yeah, you can laugh at it. I have made sort of jokes like this in the past, where alpha males get very, very insecure. You make a little gay joke about, implying you're gay. Not for me, I've never been insecure about my sexuality. I've always been 100% red-blooded heterosexual. The only problem is I'm an unsuccessful one. But that doesn't mean I'm gay or anything. I'm straight. I'm just very bad at it. He isn't, but that's the reason he isn't in comedy. I am. Because if you're getting regular shags, who the fuck needs gags? just the way it is. Regular poking, no need for joking. Just a good principle in life. But it's true. It's true. Don't fucking agree with it. Doesn't matter. I live with it, so no worries. Anyway, I will talk about my time in Beijing, because Beijing is sort of like home for me in China, like Shanghai is home for him. As soon as we stepped up the train station, it was like, hey, he knows this place. I've been here a couple of times, but it's still strange to me, but I'm like that in Beijing. And in Beijing, it does get a bit tricky though, because when I tell people, yes, I lived in Beijing, the first thing people talk about is, oh, how did you deal with the pollution? Which is true. Apparently Xi'an is bad as well, but pollution fine. For some reason, I actually never had much trouble with it. Somehow I was insensitive to it. Apart from the 1 week in 2013, I've been in China nearing 9 years. 2012 was the first time I came to China, which means actually 8 years. So it's not 9 years. I suck at maths. That's why I'm not a maths teacher. But like 2013, if any of you guys remember hearing about this, there was 1 week when the PM 2.5 fucking spiked to unbelievable levels. Like the American embassy in Beijing used to do a little PM 2.5 sort of chart that it had on its website. This was independent because many people didn't trust the official Chinese figures. So the American embassy went, yeah, okay, we'll tell you, whatever. And they used to label it like, hazardous or caution advised. And then that 1 week when it went above 1,000, they just went, we don't know what the fuck to tell you about this. They literally did. They didn't say fuck, but they said, we don't know what to call this. And it's very significant when Americans don't know what to say about something. That's true, because they landed in America, Native Americans, they say, hey, are you guys Indians? No, we're not. Oh, we're just going to call you Indians. And they did. And for years, my family had a problem with America because of that. They just kept saying, oh, we don't like America. Why? Because they keep misrepresenting Indians. I'm like, yeah, well, calm the fuck down. You've got nothing to do with them. They don't even play cricket. Why do you give a shit? But then for years, they just kept fucking going on about it. And I'm like, well, then don't fucking go to America, is it? Don't fucking live in New York and still keep complaining about it. But then eventually, I will end in a minute, hang on. Eventually, they did kind of catch up with news, and then they realized, oh shit, actually, a lot of people who aren't white in America are mistreated. So that's when they just backtracked and no, actually keep your Indians. We don't want Indians. You can keep Indians. Like they just saw what happened to George Floyd in the news, and they went, yeah, you can keep Indians. We're not Indians. I was like, really? You're not Indians. You live in India. You cheer when India's playing cricket. So what do you want to call yourselves? More advanced Pakistanis living in Greater Pakistan? Yeah, that's it. Before I end, just quickly, I am just going to read you the stupid notes I had on here. This one says, Karl Berg returns, as if, who the fuck gives a shit? I'll tell you later on where the name comes from. The first point, posse, mate doesn't wank for a week, then he said he wanted to come, I couldn't say no, I covered that. Then Shanghai, Jinhua, Beijing, I think I covered that as well. Beijing Pollution Week 2013, got that. Yank Embassy Pollution Guide, that's a nickname for America, Yank Embassy Pollution Guide. And then Indian family miffed at Americans using Indian for Native Americans. They see black people treated like shit, give up naming rights to Indians. What will they call themselves? Advanced Pakistanis living in Greater Pakistan. I think I covered it all, didn't I? There we go. Thank you very much for all your time. Karl Berg, hope to see you again. Cheers.
All right, bring up Elvin. We got one
Okay, the next one I see, it's Alvin without the chipmunks. Come on.
Hey!
Hello guys.
name is Alvin, and